Have you ever woken up and felt your body isn't the same? Not because you re-ill, but because small things now take more effort? Steps feel heavier, mornings feel colder, and the silence seems louder. You think it's just age, but what if when you hit 80, your body quietly shifts into a different mode? A turning point that changes how you move, sleep, remember, and even feel? It's not dramatic or sudden. It starts as tiny slips, strength that fades, nights that stop resetting you, memory that slips more often, and emotions that surprise you. And the part most people don't know? These changes can start long before you notice, and they're easy to mistake for just getting old. This Aizen to the end. It is a shift you can manage if you know what to look for. Over the next few minutes, I'll reveal the 5 things that commonly change after 80. The small sign that shows up first, and one simple step that can help turn the tide. Stay with me, because missing this could be the reason you feel not quite yourself. Have you noticed that your legs feel heavier lately? You reach for something and it takes just a second longer than it used to. You tell yourself, I'm just tired, but deep down, it feels different, almost like your body doesn't respond as fast as your mind expects. That's not your imagination. Once you cross 80, your muscles quietly start ignoring part of the message your brain sends them. But here's the strange part. The muscle isn't weak. The connection is. Tiny nerve signals that once fired instantly now slow down, like a phone line losing bars. That's why lifting a teacup or climbing a few steps can suddenly feel like work. And the worst part? Most people blame aging, shrug it off, and stop moving as much, which only makes the signal fade even faster. What if every time you sat a little longer or skipped a short walk, your brain's control over your body dimmed just a bit more? Because that's exactly what's happening to millions of seniors who don't even know it. You don't have to let that switch keep turning off. The same brain-to-muscle signal can strengthen again, but only if you remind it daily. Small, gentle movements are like flipping the light back on. Standing up a few more times a day, flexing your ankles before bed, or simply lifting your arms while seated tells your brain, we're still connected. And here's the hopeful twist. Studies show that even at 80 or 90, people who keep moving regain power and balance faster than those who don't. The human body still listens. It just needs to hear your voice more often. So before you say, I'm too old for that, remember this. Your muscles haven't given up. They're just waiting for your call. Have you noticed your nights getting shorter? Not because you wake up to noise or pain, but because your body just decides it's done sleeping? You look at the clock, and it's 3:17 a.m., wide awake, no matter how tired you felt when you went to bed. That is not bad luck or old habits. It is your internal clock quietly losing its rhythm. Once you turn 80, your body's sleep switch starts flickering. The part of your brain that keeps day and night balanced, the circadian rhythm, begins to misfire. The signals that tell your body, it's dark, time to rest, grow weaker. And the cruel twist. The more tired you feel, the less your brain listens to the message. But here's what's scarier. Broken sleep isn't just about being tired. It slowly confuses your memory, weakens your muscles, and raises your risk of falling, all because your brain never fully resets overnight. And yet, most seniors think it's just part of getting old. It's not. It's your brain begging you to reset the clock. You can't force sleep, but you can remind your body what time it is. Step outside in the morning light, let the sun hit your face, and tell your brain, daytime starts now. Then, in the evening, dim the lights. Turn off screens and let your body ease into darkness again. Even a few minutes of this every day helps rebuild that rhythm. And when it does, you'll notice something powerful. Your nights stretch longer, your mornings feel calmer, and your thoughts sharper. Because your body doesn't forget how to rest. It just needs to be reminded when to begin. Have you ever felt your heart beating slower than usual or faster for no reason at all? Maybe you climb a few steps and suddenly feel breathless, even though you used to handle them just fine. It's easy to think, my heart's getting weaker. But what if that's not exactly true? What if at 80 your heart isn't giving up, it's guarding you? Once you reach this age, your heart becomes cautious. It learns from decades of work, and now it tries to protect you by slowing down, tightening blood flow, and saving energy wherever it can. But sometimes that protection backfires. Blood doesn't move as freely, oxygen travels slower, and you start feeling tired, not because your heart is failing, but because it's playing it safe. And here's the scary twist. That same overprotective response can quietly trick your body into shutting down more activity, which only convinces your heart to slow down even more. It's a silent loop that traps millions of seniors without them even realizing it, but there's a way out. Your heart listens carefully to how you treat it. A little movement, even gentle stretching, deep breathing, or walking for 2 minutes after sitting, signals safety to your heart. It says, "You can trust me. I'm still strong," and your heart responds by pumping more confidently again. Because your heart doesn't want to stop working. It just needs reassurance. You can't control every beat, but you can control how you remind it you're still here, still living, still worth every pulse. Have you noticed how small things hit you harder these days? A familiar song makes your eyes well up. The sound of laughter next door feels like a memory calling your name. And sometimes even silence feels heavy. You start wondering, why am I getting so emotional lately? Here's the truth most people never tell you. It's not weakness. It's your brain turning up the volume on life. After 80, the parts of your brain that filter emotion, the ones that used to dull sadness or mute nostalgia, start to loosen their grip. Suddenly, every feeling becomes sharper, every memory clearer, every goodbye heavier. But here is what is shocking. Those same emotions that make you tear up can actually protect your brain. Studies show that when you feel deeply, when you cry, reminisce, or laugh until your chest aches, your brain stays active. Emotional recall keeps old neurons firing and even builds new connections. So instead of fighting those waves, maybe you were never meant to? Maybe your emotions are your body's last effort to help you remember who you are. Because when the world gets quieter, your soul starts speaking louder. And that's not something to hide from, that's something to listen to.